Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into something that's reshaping how European enterprises operate. Agentic AI in 2026. Sam, this feels like one of those inflection moments in tech, where the capability jumps, but so do the rules. What's your take on where we are right now?
Absolutely, Alex. We're at this fascinating crossroads where agentic AI, these autonomous systems that can plan, act, and learn on their own, has moved from experimental sandboxes into actual production workflows across Europe. But here's the thing, that speed is creating real tension with the EU AI Act, which is now live and getting stricter. Organizations are trying to unlock this transformative potential while staying compliant, and that's not trivial.
Right, so when you say agentic AI, we're talking about something fundamentally different from the chatbots people interact with daily, correct? These aren't just responding to prompts?
Exactly. A chatbot answers your question. An agentic system perceives a complex environment, plans a multi-step workflow, executes it across your tools and APIs, and then learns from what happened. It's reasoning in real time, testing assumptions, adjusting tactics when things don't work. Gartner forecasts these systems will cut manual workflow overhead by 40% by 2026, especially in finance and supply chain. That's a huge leap from traditional automation.
40% reduction is staggering. But Sam, that autonomy also introduces risk, doesn't it? That's where governance becomes critical. How are enterprises actually thinking about compliance with the EU AI Act when these systems are becoming so autonomous?
That's the key insight, Alex. A lot of organizations initially see compliance as a burden, another checkbox. But the smartest players are flipping that. They're embedding governance into the agent design from day one, not retrofitting it later. The data shows those companies get 35% faster deployment cycles and stronger stakeholder buy-in. Compliance becomes a competitive advantage, not a constraint.
Interesting. So the EU AI Act isn't just about checking boxes. It's actually forcing better design practices. What does that actually look like in practice? What are the specific requirements European organizations need to meet for high-risk autonomous systems?
Good question. For high-risk applications, think autonomous hiring decisions or financial trading, the Act mandates several layers. First, transparent documentation of training data and design choices. Second, human-in-the-loop oversight, meaning humans stay in the loop for critical decisions. Third, independent bias audits and fairness assessments. Fourth, incident reporting and continuous monitoring. And fifth, clear communication to end users about when they're interacting with AI. None of these are negotiable.
That's comprehensive. But Sam, I'm imagining a finance team or supply chain manager thinking, this sounds expensive and slow. How do organizations actually implement this without grinding deployment to a halt?
It's about strategic design. If you architect agents with compliance built in, you're not bolting it on at the end. Think of it like security in software. If you design secure from the start, you move faster. For agentic systems, that means defining clear decision boundaries up front, automating audit trails, and designing escalation workflows where humans jump in when the agent encounters uncertain or high-stakes situations. That's not slow. That's actually faster than trial and error.
So context matters enormously. An agent making a customer service recommendation behaves differently than one making hiring decisions. Let's talk about that architecture piece. How do leading organizations structure these autonomous agents?
There's a concept called context engineering that's becoming central. Basically, you're designing the agent with clear constraints and awareness of the domain it operates in. A supply chain agent might have constraints around cost thresholds and supplier preferences. A recruitment agent has guardrails around protected characteristics. The agent learns within those boundaries, and when it hits them, it surfaces decisions to humans. That's the extended cognition researchers are talking about. The agent extends human judgment without replacing it.
I like that framing. The agent extends rather than replaces, but I'm curious about adoption across European enterprises. We're talking about 2026 here. Are organizations actually ready? What are you seeing in terms of maturity?
There's a significant range, honestly. McKinsey's data shows 55% of organizations have integrated AI into at least one business process, and agentic workflows are the fastest growing category. But maturity on the governance side is lagging. Many organizations understand they need compliance, but they're still working out the practical playbook. That's actually a huge opportunity for leaders who move decisively on governance architecture.
Speaking of leadership, this connects to something we talk about a lot, the role of AI literacy and strategy at the executive level. I imagine understanding agentic systems and their governance is now table stakes for European leaders.
Completely. It's not enough to have a data science team that understands agents. Board-level executives need to grasp what these systems can do, what risks they carry, and how to govern them. At EtherLink, we've seen that executives with immersive, hands-on experience with agentic systems, understanding their capabilities and limitations firsthand, make dramatically better decisions about where and how to deploy them.
That makes sense. You can't govern what you don't understand. So if I'm a European executive right now and my board is asking, should we be investing in agentic AI? What's your straight answer?
My answer is yes, but strategically. Don't chase every use case. Identify processes where autonomy creates genuine value, places where complexity is high, decisions are repetitive, and speed matters. Then invest in governance architecture alongside agent development. The EU AI Act isn't going anywhere. It's getting stricter. Organizations that view compliance as a design principle, not a friction cost, will move faster and build stronger stakeholder trust. That's a significant competitive advantage in 2026.
Okay, let me push on that a bit. The European regulatory approach is stricter than, say, the US or China. Does that put European enterprises at a disadvantage? Or is there an advantage to operating in a regulated sandbox?
That's the nuanced part. In the short term, stricter rules might slow deployment compared to less regulated markets. But here's what the European Commission understood. Clarity and trust are long-term competitive advantages. Enterprises operating under clear governance rules build customer confidence, reduce legal risk, and create repeatable playbooks. When agentic systems handle sensitive decisions, hiring, lending, healthcare recommendations, customers care about transparency and fairness. European compliance standards are becoming a trust signal.
So it's not a handicap. It's actually a moat if you execute well. You're building systems that customers and regulators trust. That's a strong position. Before we wrap, give me one concrete example of an enterprise use case where agentic AI delivers real value within the governance framework.
Great example, supply chain optimization. An agentic system continuously monitors supplier performance, logistics costs, demand forecasts, and sustainability metrics. It autonomously recommends procurement decisions and reroutes shipments in real time, all within predefined cost and compliance boundaries. When something unusual happens, a supplier goes offline, for instance, it escalates to a human buyer. It's handling massive complexity and delivering speed, but humans remain in control of critical decisions. That's exactly how 2026 agentic AI should work.
Clear, practical, and governed. I love it. Sam, thank you for walking us through this. Listeners, if you want to dig deeper into agentic AI architectures, the EU governance framework, and how organizations are actually deploying these systems, head over to etherlink.ai and find the full article. We break down risk-based governance, implementation strategies, and real-world case studies. Until next time, this is EtherLink AI Insights.
Thanks, Alex. Great conversation. And listeners, if you're leading an organization in Europe, think about agentic AI not as a distant 2026 trend, but as a strategic decision you need to make now. The governance framework is clear. The competitive window is open. Make it count.